Right, hiya. This is a response video to a video that was uploaded about 12 hours ago by a channel with a much greater audience than mine. They've got like 200,000 plus subscribers. They're a great channel, you know, they're doing very well for themselves. But they did a video about 12 hours ago. They uploaded a video of how asexuality can be a result of, and they say this in the description of the video in particular. You can go and have unless they've edited it. It says in the description of their video that asexuality can be a result of mental illness. Uh, the this is it was quite interesting. This like sort of it made me say, "Ooh, this is quite interesting. I want to watch this video." Seeing that I do suffer specifically from depression myself and anxiety and stuff like that, and I'm asexual too, so I sort of it did make me want to watch the video. Um, the way I found the video was actually one of my subscribers messaged me on Snapchat saying, "Have you seen this video by this channel? Because I'm not sure how I feel about it." And so I was like, yeah, sure, I'll check it out, which I did. And this is why I'm making a response video now. I'll leave the actual video link to it in the description. But basically, I didn't like the video that much. I didn't like how they portrayed asexuality. I didn't like how it gave the impression of what asexuality is. It sort of made it seem like it came across that they thought that asexuality was a choice, and that asexuality um, isn't like isn't real in a sense, because the way they said it is I'll highlight. If you haven't watched the video, go ahead and watch it. You can pause this video, come back to it, see my response to it, or you can watch this response video, then watch the video afterwards, and hopefully it'll make sense. It's up to you. But I'd recommend you watch it so this sort of makes sense. Um, but basically, they said that um, because people have a lot of stuff on, like say a lot people with depression and stuff often have a lot of other stuff on their mind that cause like depression, perhaps like exams, and perhaps you know they're just feeling sad in general and they've got a lot of other things on their mind, then they're not likely to think about sex. And that means that the girl in the video was saying that that's why she thought she was asexual, because she had a lot of stuff going on in her life. She didn't think she thought she was asexual. Um, I didn't like this because I don't think I'm not 100% sure. I haven't watched enough of their videos to understand, but I don't think she's actually asexual. I think um, she thought she was asexual, but then realised she wasn't, or something. I think I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that. But I didn't like it because it sort of gives the impression that it's implying that you're just thinking you're asexual because you've got a lot going on. If you didn't have this going on, if you didn't have to worry about this, if you didn't have to worry about this, if you didn't have to worry about this, you inevitably think about sex. Everybody thinks about sex. If you don't, then you're weird. It's just simply because everyone goes through periods of their life, and there was another girl in the video that said that as well. That she went through periods of her life with exams and stuff where she didn't think about sex, and she goes, "Well, people were, other people think that too." And it sort of implies that it's just this phase, because you're going through a lot, that it's just this phase, that you're going to be asexual, and it's not this real thing. Which I really didn't like, because it gives this negative image of asexuality. It's like this made up, constructed thing that is actually used to get attention and sort of for people to try and be different, when really it's just a phase that everybody's going to grow out of, and it's not a real thing. Like, the sun is shining right in my face. I don't know if you can see. But yeah, it was a strange one. They also said this is probably a completely valid point and everything, but they also said that medication from depression and is known to reduce people's sex drives, and they said that, which is another reason why people with depression and mental illness are likely to be are asexual. And they said that that's why a lot of people who are asexual have mental illnesses and have depression, because they take these tablets, and then they've also because they've got a lot of stuff going on, then they're likely to define as asexual, because it reduces the the like antidepressants reduce their sex drive, and because they got a lot of stuff going on, then they're going to think they're asexual too. So they said like all these factors combined means that like, which is why a lot of people who are depressed define as asexual. Again, this is like sort of like, you can't determine that. You can, there's no cause and effect. You know, it's they sort of, you can't generalize that to the whole population. Sure, there are quite a few people who are depressed, who are asexual, and sure, the drugs may reduce your sex drive, but you can't just say that's the whole of the asexual. I've never taken any antidepressants or anything like that. I define as asexual. You know, there are still people who are asexual, who have never taken drugs like that in their life, and it's not because of that they. It just, I don't like it, because they said that, you know, it just implies that if these drugs weren't around and stuff, then inevitably people would like sex again, because, you know, everybody likes sex, and it's just these drugs that's causing us to not feel so, you know, to feel like they don't want to have sex. And again, they say because that's why the reason why people with who are asexual tend to be depressed. They don't think about perhaps the other way around. Perhaps people are depressed because they don't like the fact that they are asexual. Perhaps it's the other way around. Perhaps, I don't want to say this because it's not going to be the case for everyone at all, but in some scenarios, like, I could even apply this to myself, but my asexuality kind of explains a lot of the reason why I get depressed and why I get sad, because I feel so isolated about being asexual, and because of the stigma that's attached to it, and because of the negative comments I get, and because of the, you know, feeling alone and isolated and just different from everyone else, that causes me to feel depressed. Of course it does. That's what, you know, feeling alone, feeling different, inevitably is going to lead people to be sad. And in my case, it led me to be depressed and have anxiety and stuff and just be sad. So in my case, perhaps the asexuality has actually led to the depression. Not like the depression leads to the asexuality, like the video was kind of stating. It's just something I didn't like. Again, I can't generalise what I've just said to the majority of the population. You can't say that asexuality leads to... you can't say that depression... No, you can't say that asexuality leads to depression. That's not... You can't generalise that. But in my case, you know, that is kind of a bit of the case. Obviously, there's other factors that, you know, that... What's the word? There's other factors that make me depressed, as well as being asexual, but it's still a factor, you know? So it does sort of cause it for me. So I don't like the video. It's very... What's the word? Is it reductionist or deterministic? I'm not 100% sure on the word, but it just only takes on board... Well, you can kind of say egocentric, because it only takes on board like one certain opinion and one certain view. And it doesn't like... It doesn't generalize... You can't generalize what they said to the whole population, or the whole population of asexuals. I just didn't like it, because it made people just feel sad, and the fact that I saw a lot of negative comments on the video, because it sort of... It just really hurts asexuals, because it makes them see that it is a choice, and that they can help being like this. You just... When people can't help being like this, and people like myself really don't like being like this, but we are like this, and seeing videos like that saying that, like, oh, it's just a, you know, it's just because you've got a lot going on and stuff, it just, you know, it makes other people think that I can change. And if people watch that video and see it's like, oh, it's just because you've got a lot of stuff going on, and now they have that belief, because keep in mind this video's audience and this channel's audience is a lot bigger than like mine and stuff. They got 200,000 plus subscribers. Then people are going to watch that video and say, oh, so basically if, you know, Alex didn't have a lot of stuff going on, perhaps he wouldn't define as asexual and stuff like that, you know? Whereas that's not true at all. I hope this video sort of made some sort of sense. I don't mean it to, you know, again, this is kind of just my opinion again, and how it affected me personally as an asexual. Hopefully you can understand my sort of point of view, and, you know, give it a thumbs up if you do sort of agree with me, and or if you don't, just leave a comment, and, you know, I'm sure there's certain things that I said that might have offended offended people, and I'm really sorry if that was the case. I didn't mean for that to come across at all. But thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for your support. You know, I'm not the only one that was negatively affected by this video, for sure. But I hope you can understand my point of view. So thank you so much for watching. I'll leave the link in the description for the video if you haven't watched it, and I'll speak to you very soon.